please do not buy your CPAP machine from Amazon or eBay or Walmart.com or any of those type of places, mainly because once you have purchased that CPAP machine from one of those places, it's going to be very difficult to have any one-on-one support or possibly no support at all. And if you end up on that more difficult path without support, it is a recipe for failure. And I don't want you to fail. So make sure that either you're getting your CPAP from a local DME where you can actually physically go into the office there and visit with them and talk about problems that you might be having, or at least a company that is a DME that is online, perhaps like us, that will supply that information that you are possibly going to need going down the road. Now, I understand, especially these days, inflation is happening. So every dollar counts and you save a few bucks on Amazon or eBay. But I honestly don't think it's worth it. It's not worth the few dollars that you would save. And as a matter of fact, if you search around, check out affinityhm.com, you might find out that our prices are as good as those Amazon and eBay prices for CPAP machines and many other things as well. So that is going to make your path a lot easier if you just take that first tip. And here comes tip number 2. Try various masks and pillows. So it's typical to start off with a full face mask, like this one right here, which is over your nose and over your mouth. And sometimes if that's too much, if you're feeling claustrophobic, you can't handle that, you can try the nasal pillows, maybe with a chin strap. But the point is that you need to try the different systems in order to really know whether or not which one is actually the best for you. So no matter how many CPAPs I've set up, I still don't always know. Even though we can ask the questions, people are different and people have different likes and different dislikes. And so if at all possible, do try various different, there's basically just a few different. There's over the nose and the mouth CPAP mask. There's the over just the nose CPAP mask. Then there's the nasal pillows that are the 2 little prongs sort of that seal around the nose. And then there's the cradle that goes under your nose. And then finally, there's a hybrid mask that is sort of a mix between the nasal pillow system and the full face mask, but it doesn't have anything from here up. There's nothing. So those hybrids are really good as well. So definitely try different ones, especially if you are having some problems. You definitely want to try various CPAP masks and pillows. Tip number 3, leak test your CPAP mask. Now we're going to actually do this right now. I want you to see what I'm talking about. So if you're new on CPAP, you may find that actually everything goes well at first through the night, and then bam, you spring a leak. You spring a leak because maybe it's not quite on exactly just right. So let me put this on. I hope that you can still hear me. If you would, let me know in comments if you can still hear me once I have this mask on. And this is just, can you hear me? This is just a simple full face mask. And I'm going to go ahead and clip it in place. Okay. So once you have the mask on, then you would turn your machine on up to your prescribed pressure, and then just simply do this. Just simply look up, look down, look left, look right. And if during the process of looking up, down, left, and right, if you have a leak during those movements, then you're likely going to also have a leak whenever you do fall asleep. Now, another thing that you can do, and I'm not going to put the whole headgear on again, I'm just going to show you this. Once the mask is on, you can pull it away and back. We call it reseating. So you can reseat it just by pulling away and back. And sometimes that is all that you need, because there are couple of different layers of material in there, and it can get out of whack a little bit. So the leak test is super crucial, whether it's the nasal, no matter what type of mask or mask system that you are using. It's really, really great to do a leak test. And again, make sure, if you couldn't hear me, make sure it's at your prescribed pressure and not that ramp pressure. So most of the time there's like a leak test within your system, one of the settings that you can hit, and it'll do the leak test at your prescribed level. So let's move on. Tip number 4, watch TV or read and become acclimated. Now, I've given this tip out a lot. This is one of the very best ones, especially for somebody that's brand new on CPAP. You can, during the day, while you're awake and you're not even intending to go to sleep necessarily, you just want to get yourself more used to using the CPAP machine so that you're acclimated to that pressure, the way the breathing feels, the mask itself. And what will happen is if for an hour or two, watch a movie. I like Top Gun. I think it's a great movie to watch while getting used to the mask. Although it might be a little scary, I don't know, but Top Gun is good. But watch a movie with the mask on, with the pressure going, and you'll find that you're distracted enough that it just becomes easier and easier. And so that's a really good tip. So next one, number 5, don't measure success solely on the data. Assess your symptoms and your dreams. What I'm talking about here is, I think that sometimes we get real tied up in our phone app that we have, to look at what the score is on the phone app. But I did a video not too long ago, and a lot of people responded to that video. It was titled, "My score is 100, yet I still don't feel like I slept well," and that's actually very true. So my point is, don't worry so much about the data and the app, but just focus really on this. Remember what your symptoms were like, whatever it was that sent you into the doctor's office in the first place. Was it you're sleepy all day? Was it headaches in the morning, blood pressure? Those are the things that would be the best to use as a measurement tool to determine whether or not the CPAP is effective, way more than any data, any app, any number that you can get on your phone. So are you feeling better? Are you feeling rested? Are the headaches in the morning gone? Are you still sleepy or not? And so use that information. I encourage you more than any other thing to determine whether or not you're doing well on your CPAP. All right, moving on. Here's number 6. Get a CPAP hose holder. All right. So with the CPAP hose holder, it is actually a game changer. I have a little clip here that I want to show you that I actually tried using a CPAP hose holder in my bed just to sort of show you what it looks like. It is a metal bar that goes up at the head of the bed that holds the hose up and away from you. So check out this clip. It's very short clip, but I want you to take a look. So you see the hose holder is actually in between the two mattresses, and it's just a little aluminum rod. There's not much to it. I think they're like $15 roughly, something like 15 bucks. And but what it does is worth way more than $15. It actually will keep that hose not only away from your arms and out of your way, but also the water begins to drain back into the humidifier versus, when you have rain out, a lot of times the water will go right back into your face. So we don't like that either. So the CPAP hose holder is super awesome, and I recommend that to everyone. All right, now here's a really good one coming up. Number 7, and we only have 10, so we're getting close. Narrow your prescription. So I'm talking now to people who have APAP. APAP is not CPAP. CPAP is continuous positive airway pressure. APAP is automatic positive airway pressure. So the automatic or auto positive airway pressure, when we set the machines, we set them on 2 different pressures. Sometimes when, if you had a home sleep study, your pressure is probably going to be a super wide range, like 4 to 20. If you had a lab study, they might have narrowed that down to something like, 8 to 12 or something like that. But more and more, what we're learning is that if you have a range of pressure, the machine is going to constantly be trying to find the best pressure for you via it's looking at how many times, if you're having an apnea or a hypopnea, which a hypopnea is where you're still breathing, but just a little bit. But the machine is looking at these apneas and hypopneas and trying to adjust itself to the correct pressure. Well, that wakes people up. And actually, it may not be the greatest therapy in the world, to especially if you have a super wide range of pressure. So here's what you can do. You can take a look at your data. Now, this is a good use for data right here. Take a look at your data, have your doctor look at the data and see where your pressure is running most of the time. One of the elements in the data is it is a 95th percentile pressure. So your pressure is at 95% of the time, for example. Then if you were on 4 to 20 and your pressure is at 95% of the time, then why not call the doctor, say, hey, doc, can we change this to 7 and 11, for example? Of course, it would be the doctor. It's got to be based on a prescription. I don't recommend people play around with their prescribed pressure at all. I think that should definitely come from the doctor. And however, by narrowing that pressure, it likely is going to help you sleep better. If you can even nail it down to a single pressure, then thumbs up and do that. Of course, again, that's a doctor's decision, so talk to your doctor about that one. Okay, number 8, mask liners. If you haven't heard about these, a lot of people have really sensitive skin, and the silicone in the mask causes breakouts, problems. Sometimes it's just the pressure, and the most often I see on cheeks some, but most of the time the problem is right there in the bridge of the nose because the skin is so thin right there. And they have developed an item. It's called mask liners. It's just like a piece of cottony cloth, and it fits the same shape of your mask. So you put the mask liner on, then you put the mask on, and it's just soft and comfortable. They're disposable, and so a mask liner is super good. Now, another thing, if you don't want to go to the point of purchasing mask liners, breakouts do happen for 2 other main reasons of the skin. One is putting it on just too tight. People that put the mask on too tight obviously have a good chance of problem with the skin. Or if there's any kind of oil that's remaining on that mask, make sure you clean that off, and also clean your face real well. So if you have a really clean mask and a clean face, less likely to have skin irritation and skin problems. Now, I want to go back to the putting the mask on too tight. So, earlier in this video, we talked about, doing the leak test and making sure that the mask is on right. But be careful not to over tighten it, because over tightening is really just as bad as under tightening it. So I recommend to kind of have the mask on kind of loose initially where it's leaking, and then just gradually tighten it down a little at a time, evenly, until the leak stops. Then do the leak test, and then you'll be good. So you'll have it on as loose as it's possible for it to be, yet it's not going to leak. So mask liners are really great. So here it comes, number 9. This is a really super good one right here. Join a Facebook group. There is a really great group that Affinity HM sponsors. It's called CPAP for Beginners. So you can go to Facebook, type that in, join that group, ask questions to, there are a lot of people there who, some are new, and many have used CPAP. And what I love to see is the post of the people who are new and I'm having problems and what do I do? And then a couple of weeks later, that same person is saying, hey, I got it. It's going well. I finally slept all night. And that's a wonderful thing to see you guys as a community helping each other get through all of these difficulties. And so I strongly encourage anyone, if you do Facebook at all, go to CPAP for Beginners, join that group and ask questions. And then finally, for support and to answer questions and to find out, what's happening in this world of CPAP, please subscribe to our channel. I really would appreciate it very much. As a matter of fact, if you haven't already, please like this video if you're on YouTube. But subscribing to this channel or some other channel, there are some other really good YouTube channels for CPAP, and I would encourage you to subscribe to those channels as well. And you can find the answer. The key ingredient to all of this is this. And let's go back to the picture from the beginning. Whether your path is the difficult one on the right or your path is the easy one on the left, the real key to success with CPAP is to not give up, to don't quit, don't stop, keep doing it. even if you would start every single night with a CPAP, even if you had a terrible night last night, start the night off. And what's going to happen is you get better and better and more acclimated. You solve problems, and eventually, I promise you, it's going to be a therapy that will work for you if you can just stick with it. And so that's my lesson for tonight. And so let me encourage everyone, if you haven't already done it, we're going to do a giveaway here in just a moment. And if you would type in comments, this is your last chance. There goes an ambulance. Okay. Type in comments, #tips. Say a little prayer for the people that the ambulance is going to get. But type that in, #tips, and you'll be entered into the contest for the drawing, which we're about to do right away. After the drawing, I'm going to come over to comments and take a look, and we will answer questions if you guys have any questions. All right. So let's see. I want to share this with you and let you see. And then we're going to pull the trigger and see who won for tonight. So the winner of the gift card to affinityhm.com is Jane Loyalist. Jane, congratulations. That is fantastic. Jane is watching on YouTube, I see. Thank you, Jane, for entering, and thank you all for entering. I thought it was going to be Kimberly. Kimberly, you almost did it, but you barely missed tonight. Barely missed. Well, keep doing it. Keep, Kimberly, and everyone, please continue to join that contest. We really appreciate it. So, Miss Jane, if you would, please send me an email to admin@affinityhm.com, and I'll send you a gift card to our store. All right, so that is awesome. Now let's go ahead and move on over to the Q&A. I'm going to take a look at you guys' comments, and let's see. Hello. All right. Yeah, Sanook Weather won last week. It was I was actually out of the office, and so Sanook, you were chosen as the winner. Jane is back from the beach where the weather is glorious, and then it was over 100 this week. Yes, indeed, it has been hot here too. But tonight it's been like 95 degrees, and it's going to actually end up being about 73 degrees tonight. So I'm excited. I might even open up some windows. All right. So hello. I don't see any questions. Okay. Here's a good comment. Bob, thank you for the comment. CPAP wipes are essential to mask care. I use them on my AirTouch F20 memory foam mask. Yeah, I love CPAP wipes. And we actually have two different ones. We have citrus or orange aroma, or we have unscented. And they're really not that expensive. You get like 80 wipes for $10. And so it's definitely a good thing, and it definitely does matter with the seal as well. So I encourage everybody to definitely get CPAP wipes. All right. Well, has anybody got any other comments or questions for me? I don't think so. All right. Well, you guys, I really appreciate y'all being here. Again, please subscribe to the YouTube channel. Share this video if you would. Share it out to your friends on Facebook. I promise there's somebody, if you have, let's say you have 100 friends on Facebook, a lot of them actually use CPAP, and you might not know it. So share it out there. Let people see, get some answers and some tips, and I appreciate it very much. Well, I hope everybody has a wonderful and happy Father's Day to all of you men. Happy Father's Day. And I look forward to seeing you next week. Same time, same place. I'll be here live and share some really cool information with you. I've got a video planned, if I can pull it off, with a tip to save you some money. So be looking for that on Facebook and on YouTube. All right, everybody. Y'all have a great night. Bye.